Hey folks, how you doing? Lloyd here, or Mr. Hats as I'm known as in the VC. Take 4. I've tried to do this 3 previous times and just just all gobbledygook came out. So this is a ranking video. This is for AC/DC, the Brian Johnson years. So from 1980, Back in Black, through the 2020s, Power Up. Bit of history on my love-hate relationship with AC/DC. I was never a fan of the old Bon Scott years. I didn't like that blues rock, barroom rock type sound. I didn't like Bon Scott's voice. That said, there's an aura about him. He has a stage presence. He has charisma. You can't help look at the guy. Brilliant. Brian Johnson does not have an aura. He does not have a stage presence. He certainly does not have the same charisma Bon Scott did. But I just like the heavier sound of AC/DC. Just to get that straight up straight away, I have heard the AC/DC albums. Lynn has them, the Bon Scott years. Just not a fan of them. But anyway, we'll get on with this. There's 11 albums. An AC/DC album is an AC/DC album is an AC/DC album is an AC/DC album. They're all pretty similar sounding. And interesting to note, I can't think of another hard rock band that never recorded a power ballad. They all seem to do it. Even the likes of Metallica did it. So, yeah, just really strange. AC/DC never did it. They stuck to their one true style, and it's worked time in, time out again for the last 50 plus years. So, kudos to them. Anyway, let's get on with it. 1 sentence per album, score out of 10. Let's get on with it. It's just a fun video, folks. So at number 11 on my list, I have Flick of the Switch. Don't know if you can see that very well or not. Flick of the Switch there. Stock standard album. There's no killer on this. More importantly, there's no filler. 6.5 out of 10. Number 10 on my list, we're going to go to 1995, and we have Ball Breaker, produced by Rick Rubin. This album feels like it could have been and should have been a lot heavier than it is. It just sounds a bit sanitized and clinical to me. Whether that's the songs in general or Rick Rubin's production, I'm not sure, but I'm really not a fan of Rick Rubin's production overall on many things, except for the Johnny Cash American albums. This one comes in at 6.8 out of 10. Number 9 on my list, we're going to go to their most recent album, 2020's Power Up. First album without Malcolm Young. However, there are some guitar parts on this album. He did record a lot of riffs prior to him not being able to play anymore and prior to his death, which have been featured on this album. It's a half decent album, 7 out of 10. Number 8 on my list, we're going to go to 1981. Those about to rock, solid album. Was always going to be on a hide into nothing against its predecessor, Back in Black, which we all know bands do struggle after they've had a mega hit like Back in Black, for example. They really struggle to follow it up sometimes. 7.2 out of 10. Still a very good album in its own right. Number 7 on my list, we're going to go to 2011. There you are. Rock or Bus. Solid sounding hard rocking album. It's well produced, in your face blast of hard rock. 7.3 out of 10. Number 6 on my list, we're going to go to 1985. Fly on the Wall. I know I keep saying solid album, but their albums all sound the same, and it just is what it is. It's just a solid album. 7.4 out of 10. Number 5 on my list, we're going to go to 2008, Black Ice. Comeback album after an 8-year break. If I had to say something negative, I would just say it's about 4 tracks too long. There's like 15 tracks on here, 15 or 16. It clocks in at about an hour, which is super long for an AC/DC album, and just too many tracks. There's nothing wrong with the tracks technically, it's just too much at one time. Their normal albums, they're over within 38, 40, 45 minutes, but there's an extra 10, 15 minutes on here, and it's just a bit too much to want to enjoy at one time. But yeah, it's still a really good album. 7.5 out of 10. Number 4 on my list, we're going to go back to 19 88, blow up your video. This album has some really horrible, stifled production, but the songs are still really good. This probably would have been a top 2, definitely would have been a bit higher than number 4 had it had better production than that horrible 1980s production we all know. Still comes in at a really good 7.6 out of 10 from me. Number 3 on my list, we're going to go to 2000, Stiff Upper Lip. I just feel this is miles ahead of its predecessor, Ball Breaker, and with an 8-year break between this one and Black Ice, it gave a whole lot of time to actually enjoy this album, whereas normally there's 2 years apart, there might be 3, etc. But this is, we've got an 8-year break, so all we had for 8 years was this album, and it's just gave me a lot of time to digest it. Really like this album. 7.7 out of 10 from me. That leaves 2 albums, probably the 2 albums most people would pick. Number 2 on my list, I have to go for 1990s, The Razor's Edge. It's concise, well thought out songs, great riffs, crystal clear production, probably one of the greatest production sounds on any hard rock album I've ever heard. And the fact that the opening track contains the greatest guitar riff of all time in Thunderstruck, and the fact it's probably the greatest opening track on any album ever, in my opinion. It's a shame it's not number 1 on my list, but it's pretty darn close, and on this occasion it just doesn't do it. 9.5 out of 10 from me, which leaves number 1 on my list, the obvious album just about everyone would choose. We've got Back in Black, 1980. This is the 50th anniversary of the band's edition. I do have the black and white coloured vinyl as well, and obviously this gold one, plus Lynn and I both have original versions of this. There's a reason this album sold close to 50 million copies worldwide. Probably partially because of Bon Scott's death, but mainly because the pure masterpiece these songs are. Absolutely brilliant, right from the get-go of Back in Black, Hell's Bells, right through to the closing track, Have a Drink on Me. Yep, just a great perfect hard rock album. 9.7 out of 10. So there you go, folks, just a quick look at the 11 studio albums from the Brian Johnson years. Let me know in the comments section below, are you a Bon Scott fan of that era? Are you a Brian Johnson fan? What's your favourite AC/DC song? What's your favourite AC/DC album? Do you feel the same as me about Thunderstruck having probably the greatest riff of all time, etc, etc. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Till next time, stay safe, take care, all for now, catch you around, and bye folks.